Hey, before another episode of Revenge of the Sequel, the podcast just about sequels, which you're listening to right now, I just want to let you know that this episode we recorded so long ago. We recorded it in November. So a lot of the things that we're talking about might seem dated, and it is months and months and months old now. I think more than 6 months old, especially since, at this time, Avengers Endgame had not come out yet, and we were very different people. So if there's stuff that we talk about that seems dated, I think we speculate on John Wick 3 quite a bit, which is already coming out soon. We wanted to make sure this episode came out before John Wick 3 came out, so we're releasing it right now to everyone. So if there's something that you don't get or doesn't make any sense, and we may be talking about Christmas or the holidays, pay no attention to that. That's just because it's a really old episode. If you like this pod, just remember to subscribe to it and definitely review it nicely on iTunes or on Stitcher or anywhere else you can go and subscribe to it or listen to it. And then also, if you want episodes of Revenge of the Sequel and Countdown to Infinity and just specific episodes that are going to be released anywhere else, go to patreon.com/delphinpod, DELFINPOD. If you donate just $1, you can listen to all these insane episodes. We have an Aquaman episode. We have a brand new Detective Pikachu episode up on patreon.com. But not only will you get free stuff like that and videos, but you can also support our podcast, our little baby podcast, for our new seasons of our shows. But without further ado, here's our John Wick episode of Revenge of the Sequel.
But their story didn't end there.
How could there have been only one? And he's back in business.
Is the worst idea in history of bad ideas.
Part 2 is the final chapter in the violent history.
This time, it's personal.
Welcome back to Revenge of the Sequel, the podcast just about sequels, and we don't talk about anything else legally. We can only talk about sequels. That's it. Mm-hmm. And that's a new lawsuit, I think.
It's fresh.
Yeah, on this show, we have a, I'm thinking of law words, but I'm blanking right now. A judgment? I don't know. An annulment?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Subpoena.
Ooh, yeah, we got subpoenaed. Oh, we got subpoenaed all week long. That may be why.
Cease and desist on sequel talking.
I call it a C and D. Wait, did I do that right?
Nope, it's an S and D.
Well,
Crease and desist.
And so that's why we haven't been around in a while. We've been in and out of law courtrooms.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. We've been in and out of courtrooms talking to judges, multiple judges.
Judge Dredd,
Judge
Judy,
Judge.
What's another judge?
Mike Judge.
Mike Judge. He was there, yeah.
Judge
Reinhold.
Judge
Reinhold was there.
Mike Judge. We're working on something. That's also why we're busy. We're making a King of the Hill type sitch. I'm your host, Emmanuel.
Hey there, guys. I'm the other host, John.
And we've got a special guest.
Boy.
I feel like you've been on more because we've had less shows.
What episodes? I was on
Blade Runner
from LA.
Escape from LA, yeah.
That was one.
Blade
Runner. Is that it?
And that's it?
Oh, okay.
Wait, no. You've been on more.
I feel like those are recent, though.
Those were recent. What
Ace
Ventura?
Ace Ventura.
Oh, Ace Ventura. Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah. I think you're going up the list there. You're replacing Andrew
I'm like what do you call that guy who was the Conan O'Brien guy?
You're an Andy Richter.
Andy Richter. I'm Andy Richter now.
Yeah, you're Andy Richter now.
There, It doesn't
doesn't
contribute anything.
Come
but just
on,
there.
Andy Richter, open invite. If you're listening now, we want you.
Invite.
We want you on the show. But yeah, hey guys, welcome.
Wait, did I say my name? Oh, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Adam.
Yeah,
That's
Adam. All you need to know.
It's Adam.
The first man. The name of the first man that God created.
That got laid. The first man to get
technically.
That's my pickup line at bars. My name's Adam, the first guy to get laid.
Oh,
and
God.
they never have sex with me.
That is so weird.
Yeah, because they're like, oh shit, you've been around.
Yeah,
You're the first guy who got laid.
Probably have AIDS.
It's a weird brag. I'm the first guy ever to have sex.
Hey, I've had sex with Eve.
Oh shit, didn't she live like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
It's we're recording now. Winter has fallen. It's colder. We're by the crack. If you hear a crackle, that's because we are right by a campfire. We're
And
laying.
we're all naked for some
we're
reason.
all naked. We're laying on separate polar bear rugs. We killed 3 different polar bears.
Goddamn.
3 different polar bears?
Yeah.
A north one and a south one.
Yeah.
And
this is all. Yeah, we went.
that's all the poles I know.
we went to a local zoo.
You got the third one? God
yeah,
damn,
it
this
was
is
like
going
there's no other
dark.
poles. There's only north and south poles.
They made a big deal about going to Alaska and murdering an endangered polar bear. So we drove down to the Denver Zoo and we said, "Hey, we
Goddamn.
we want to kill your bears." They said no. Yeah, but here we are now, laying on them. John has the smallest polar bear rug. Why is that, John?
Oh, man.
Because it's a baby.
Oh, goddamn it.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
cub.
we killed a cub, huh?
Yeah. And Adam's laying on a panda bear. He didn't know what a polar bear looked like. So he mistakenly...
You know
But,
how much I love those Chinese people.
Yeah.
So
Jeez.
gotta
you
represent
killed their bear.
So I killed their bear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Potato. Speaking of killing animals, this movie this week is John Wick 2.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Yeah.
Here's the trailer. Do we do that?
I don't know. Do we do
You
that?
guys do that.
It plays
Do that.
before, though. Here it is.
Here it is now.
If it doesn't play...
It doesn't end there, or whatever your
Oh, yeah.
fun
that
tagline is.
Yeah, that's a theme song.
Working. Afraid so.
How good to see you again so soon, Mr. Wick. I need you to do this task.
I'm not that guy anymore.
You are always that guy, John.
I can't help you.
You know the rules. If you don't do this, you know the consequences.
Accounts payable, how may I help you?
I'd like to open an account.
Name on the account?
John Wick.
The contract has gone international. You have no idea what's coming.
Somebody please get this man a gun.
You stabbed the devil in the back. To him, this isn't vengeance. This is justice. You working? Afraid so. Whoever comes, I'll kill them. I'll kill them all. Of course you will. I'll try and do the same.
Wow, what a trailer. I'm excited to watch this film. Oh, we have watched it. We've watched it.
You're backpedaling
Man,
now.
you
You're
are
just
so rusty with this podcasting thing.
All of this is going to get cut out, right?
I hope so.
All right.
It's super garbage.
I
already
just don't
turned
want
it off. I'm listening to it right now. And
I just don't
done.
want dead air. Fuck. Shit.
I thought that was the perfect setup for this joke. It just
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about John Wick.
chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Did you guys watch John Wick 1? Chapter 1? Is it chapter 1?
It's just John Wick. That's all it is. It's not chapter 1.
Just
It's
like It.
John Wick.
It chapter 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's been a while since I've seen
Speaking of Mike Judge, we're doing the King of the Hill. Yep.
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 Mm-hmm.
No, go John, please.
Go, John, please.
It's been a while since I've seen the first John Wick. I think I've only seen that first one once. I don't remember being blown away by it like the way
Here we
other
go.
people say.
Here we go.
Mainly the person to the left of me here.
Oh,
who's,
yeah.
who's talking.
The top is off. John's
go.
going full now. Yeah.
That being said, I love this second one, the one that we're talking about right now.
Let's
This one's an
spend
amazing movie.
5 minutes on John Wick 1.
Okay, go
Just
for it.
5 minutes.
You can take the first 5 minutes because I do not remember John Wick 1. How were?
Look,
What's your attack? Okay, cool. Go
Okay,
for it.
it's great. John
Okay.
Wick 1 is great. And it's a very simple, very straightforward action movie with great choreography, great action scenes, got a nice balance of everything you ever wanted. Cars, guns, more guns and other guns and kicks and punches.
Guns, more guns, other guns.
Yeah.
No, it's I think that it was a great movie. It's like an action movie that we needed at that time. You know, like we haven't had anything that was very as well, I should say, like, it's gun fu to its fullest potential. You know, you had, I mean, I haven't watched it in probably like a year or something, but it's just it's a wonderful ballet of action. You know?
A ballet of action.
A ballet of action. It's wonderful.
Slap that on a poster.
But with John Wick 2, which is we just watched, is a ballet times, you know, a black belt ballet, maybe. I don't know.
That's good too. Black belt ballet. Put that on a poster.
Black belt ballet.
It's a black
belt
ballet.
Black belt ballet.
Black belt
belt
ballet.
Michael Bublé.
It's Michael Bublé.
It's Michael Bublé.
This film is Michael Bublé.
No, I want to hear why John doesn't like it so much.
Yeah, I don't understand.
What's wrong with you?
I can't remember. Okay, so this is
John,
like I
what's
really
going
can't remember
on?
the details
Your
of
name
this movie.
is John.
The whole reason I'm not a big fan of it's not that I'm not a big. I just can't remember it for the life of me. The thing is, like John Wick 1 was released in 2014. I hadn't seen it when it was released because I thought it was just going to be like, you know, your average run of the mill, like, you know, generic action movie. It wasn't until like probably a year later before the second one came out that I was kind of like, you know, convinced by friends of mine. You know,
Keanu Reeves put a gun to your head and said, "Watch this shit."
Yeah, that was the final nail in the coffin. But before that, it was basically just a lot of people like my buddy Carlos was telling me that he really loved this movie. Everybody else told me it was like one of the best action movies in years. And I saw it, and I don't remember being blown away by it. Like, I just like, it's kind of like, okay, maybe it was like overhyped, and my expectations just like went through the roof. But it's not that I don't like it, I just can't remember anything
That's how
from
I
it.
feel about Mission Impossible
Fallout?
Fallout,
Yeah,
yeah,
Fallout,
because
yeah.
everyone was blown out of the water, and I was like,
This is
okay,
just-
granted, I just like came back from Japan, and I was super jet lagged when I watched it,
Right,
and
yeah.
I don't like Tom Cruise.
So all of that was like against you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
mostly just Tom
yeah.
Cruise.
Yeah,
Mainly just doing that. And
I
then
was like fading out of like consciousness
in
when
and
I was
out,
watching
yeah.
it,
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you were like kind of pretty out of it. That's the thing. I mean, that's why, like, it's not that I dislike John Wick 1, I guess. It's just, it's not as good as John Wick 2. To me, John Wick 2 is Evil Dead 2 or Mad Max 2, The Dark Knight to, you know, John Wick's Batman Begins,
I'll
basically.
meet you there. Like, John Wick 2 is far superior to John Wick 1.
But the original John Wick was a surprise for a lot of people. It was the director's first movie ever,
Right, yeah.
directing. And it was relatively cheap to make. It was under $30 million, and it made money. So I think it did start the ball rolling. And I was gonna say I didn't see Keanu Reeves as an action star, but I remember now he's Neo in the
He's
Matrix.
Neo and Speed Man.
Yeah, he's also
Yeah,
in
and
Speed.
he's in a lot of action movies, but yeah, and he looks the same as he did in the other movies too. But yeah, we fast forward to this year, John Wick Chapter 2. Or do you guys have anything else to say about John Wick 1? You want to talk about the director? Because the same guy made both, right?
Yeah, and the same. It was like a duo, right? Like a
For the first one,
writer.
yeah. I think it was like, it was Chad Stahelski?
Oh boy.
And he,
He's a stuntman on the
he's a
Matrix.
stuntman.
Yeah,
he was
Stuntman in the Matrix.
the double for Neo.
I think so. Yeah, on the
right?
Matrix. Yeah,
That's how they met. For I think it was only for like Reload or Revolutions or something. I don't know.
right. Possibly those movies. I just know that like
Mhm.
what's really cool is that like the fact that like this movie we were talking about while we were watching it is that like it's almost the entire crew, like the creative crew in this case, and also like everything else is like they're all made of stunt people.
Yeah, it's a Legacy sequel to like The Matrix, sort of, because the director had made a company. It's like a number. I forget the name of the company, but they after The Matrix, they made their own company that did a lot of action cinematography. So they had a bunch of stunt people who would like do all these cool like sets to for just to market themselves for action.
They're the A-team.
The A-team.
They're pretty much the professionals at pushing the limits in stunt choreography and everything like that.
Right.
And you can tell. You said he doubled for Neo, but I just read that he also doubled for Brandon Lee in The Crow.
The Crow, yeah.
And yeah, so I have
And
access
Brandon
to
Lee's
Wikipedia
died
as well.
instead of him. You know?
Wow, that's kind of crazy. Wow,
Sure.
jeez, I didn't think about it in those terms.
It's true, right? Like
He could have died.
Yeah, he could have died instead.
Whoa,
Is that crazy?
And in some terms, people say he should have died.
No, then we wouldn't have John Wick.
Okay, yeah, and here we are now, John Wick 2.
I think Brandon Lee would have made John Wick.
Who knows? He would have made something. But John Wick seems to be a lot of what maybe what their research, their R&D was working on, because a lot of the things that you see in these movies you don't see anywhere else, and it's insane how practical these movies are. I'd say the most digital effects in the film is probably just adding blood splatter a million times.
Oh, yeah,
Are you
probably.
just reading off your laptop right now? I'm just observing this.
Yeah, I'm reading
Like
the Bible.
He just said it. He was like, I have access to Wikipedia too, so...
Jeez, this is how you do your... I've removed the veal off the magic trick.
Uh-oh.
We all know what
I'm
you're
the
up
Wizard
to.
of Oz.
Hey, this
You
happens on
haven't done
every
any research.
podcast that I've been on.
Adam
It's
doesn't
like-
know this whole thing is written it out, and I'm reading off a teleprompter, just like the newsmen. The newsmen.
Huey Lewis
and,
and the
sorry,
news.
and
I
the
don't know.
and the newswomen
Yeah.
as well.
Well, what if you're like non-cis, you know?
I
Like,
don't know
like
half of the
Ruby,
words you're
Ruby
saying.
Rose.
Oh yeah, Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose is in this.
She could be a news person. She would be a good news person.
That's true.
Hey,
News
Unbiased.
humanoid.
yeah. But John Wick 2, did you guys watch this movie in theaters?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I saw it at Alamo Draft House, Westlakes.
Oh,
Shout out
plug,
to
yeah.
Westlakes.
John, you went to see this in the film?
I saw this
cinema?
in theaters too. I don't know if I saw it at the Draft House, but I do remember seeing this in theaters. It
That's
was-
wild. I'd heard of John Wick, but I heard about John Wick because it premiered just up the road in Austin at Fantastic Fest.
Right.
And people, lost their poop. They were like, "Wow, this is insane."
I just imagine people running around. Where's my poop? Where's my poop? Where did my poop
get
go?
it. And it I kind of knew it on the outskirts as like a crazy Keanu action movie. There was a lot of people talking about the puppy in the first film.
Right, Daisy.
There
Daisy
was
the
like an
Beagle.
SNL sketch. I think there was a movie called Keanu.
Yeah.
With,
Key and Peele.
Key and
Cat.
Peele. Do you remember
and
that?
there's also a short sketch that shows it's reversed, where it's Dog Wick.
Wow.
Where they kill his owner, kill John Wick, and the dog takes
Gets revenge.
So
So
Really?
adorable.
That's really
It's
awesome.
Super adorable.
So it's crazy because it came out in 2014, but it is I'd say it's a staple in action movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now it
that
is,
it's
yeah.
already being parodied, or that's how I found out about it. I mean, it's not a good example, but it's like watching Spaceballs and finding out there was a Star Wars movie. Mm-hmm. That would be an awful experience for those people.
That'd be so strange to watch Spaceballs with
Wait a minute.
no like
Pizza the
pre-existing
Hut?
like context to
That
it.
did happen to me for Scary. I watched Scary Movie before I watched any of those horror films.
Scream.
Yeah.
And I didn't take any of them seriously when I was watching it.
That's how you know that parody. I mean, this is kind of like a tangent, but I feel like parody is like inherently like a weak like media. Like you can't do anything unless you've had like the context of prior things.
Of what it is, yeah.
Yeah, because that's why comedy is usually weak, because like you
Oh,
have
snap.
to like know something else. You
Shots
know what
fired
I mean?
to all comedians out there.
No,
Talking
I mean,
to you,
it's serious, though.
Jerry Seinfeld,
I mean,
Louis
even-
C.K., Aziz Ansari.
No, but if you look at like Epic Movie or all those fucking shits, like you can't even enjoy them unless you've had like
Unless you know
the
what
pop culture thing.
If you don't know what they're parodying, it just seems like they're just doing a bunch of stupid gags. Like,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, that's true. It's a tough genre, and I think that's probably why those movies nowadays don't do as well
Right.
as they did maybe a while ago when everyone.
What?
Hold on.
What is
So,
that?
so
Is that your
Siri,
Siri?
yeah, Siri is talking.
Hold
now.
on.
Yeah.
Siri, stop. That was interesting.
Yeah. He joined the podcast there.
Sorry, our Siri just turned on. Our Siri. We were talking about parodies. They were talking. Oh yeah, but I think the scary movies and those parodies worked back then because there wasn't that much content, so everyone did watch Scream or everyone did watch Star Wars. And now there are people who have never heard of Stranger Things or Breaking Bad or
Right, like I feel like
half the
Stranger
stuff.
Things would be inherently weaker with any sort of like child or teenager because it's like you're
not
you
sure if
don't
they know. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not
you don't
getting
know
the,
Yeah.
of, like
Ready Player
John
One.
Carpenter
Yeah.
or Steven Spielberg and shit like that.
yeah.
Like,
But in the 90s or in the 80s, everyone saw Star Wars, so they knew
right.
this is what it was.
So that's
Crazy.
why I think as an art form, it's actually just like the weakest of the bunch. I mean, I know, is that a hot take?
I don't.
Hot
I
take.
think I think you're valid in that. I mean, because
Yeah.
at one point parodies were original.
Yeah.
Like I guess sort of like the
Well, you
Naked
can't-
Gun,
No, parody is like literally like.
a parody of something. I get
Yeah,
it.
you
Well, I
can't.
guess. So, but the thing is, like, you get Airplane and stuff, which are like
Okay, see, that's.
Oh,
I don't
you think that's just a
parody-
straight comedy
it's
movie?
a straight comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that style
Even
of
with
humor.
Blazing
Then.
Saddles, like that's just comedy.
Oh, okay, you're right. I guess then, yeah, because I was like,
I
that
mean,
style was applied to. I think that
it's-
became the modern parody.
Because there is a specific. I'm not an expert on like the definition of satire and parody because there's a difference between the two.
I think parody's way more
Because-
clear. It's a very direct. This was in
Right,
this movie.
Spaceballs is like a parody, while like Blazing Saddle is a
Satire,
satire.
yeah.
Because it's like, oh, it's just the general Western genre, But then again, you still have to have like the context of like Westerns for Blazing Saddles.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I guess so too. Yeah, you're right. And I guess like elements of parody comedy. I guess of elements of satire comedy can be found in parodies as well. Like because you do have like. I'm just thinking of maybe I'm just thinking of David Zucker's type of comedy, like the Police Squad and Naked Gun, basketball type of shit.
Yeah, it depends how specific you want to be in a parody, I suppose. And the scary movies were very incredibly, they were sequences from the film.
Yeah,
they weren't attacking it. They weren't attacking like a whole thing. But yeah, let's talk about John Wick 2. What did you guys think about the film in general?
What did you think about the film?
Yeah,
You
what
just
did you
watched
think
it.
about
Oh my god, I just watched it for the first time. Oh my god, I can't wait to tell you guys. Hold on, follow me on hashtag.com.
hashtag doc. That's gotta be a thing, right?
I'm an old man.
Hashtag.com.
Yeah. Now we coined that website right now.
No one else take it, please.
It's a website where we price hash browns.
with tags.
Yeah,
God, that's so stupid.
$14.
Or like weed.
Sure, yeah, hash.
there you go.
Oh,
Hashtag.
Hey, Michigan legalized it. Canada legalized it.
That's a lot. Michigan's a Midwest state. That's insane. But
Shots fired.
I watched John Wick 1 and John Wick 2 back to back, so I did see the difference you were talking about. For me, the biggest difference was probably just production value. But the first film
Right.
was probably harder to make because no one believed in it.
right.
And the second one, right off the bat, it is one of the wildest movies,
Yeah.
and they definitely had more they could do. And I noticed that. The first one had a little bit more of a setup, I'd have to say. I mean, there was...
Well, it could do what it could. It like set up the aesthetic.
Yeah.
And that's and that aesthetic is unique to John Wick. That action neo-noir thing.
Did they actually have like sequences like these though? Like, because that's what I don't remember from the
Well,
first one.
What I mean is that
action sequences like that.
What made John Wick 1 different from all the other action films? What you got, like Fast and Furious, the Die Hard sequels or whatever?
Yeah, the Bourne spy
Or
movies
Bourne.
and stuff. Yeah.
The Transporter.
The thing about
There you
John
go.
Wick that I think resonated with a lot of people was just that aesthetic, that neo-noir action, because you don't have neo-noir action. Who does that?
That's true.
Like, you
It's
have
either
that black suit with black tie. He looks fucking cool. It's just like that aesthetic, I think, really pulled people in, and that's what got the money,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a little... it's definitely different than other action movies. And I will have to say, out of all of the genres of films, action is the one that I am not attracted to.
Why?
That
It's not a girl,
often.
that's why.
Yeah, because it's not a girl. I like girls. No, I don't know. I love the sequences in action, but I always think that
Weren't you the one who walks out during like action sequences because there's no plot?
and I come back,
You
I
go to take a
I don't
piss
walk
or-
out. That's when I go to the restroom.
Yeah, when you
But I just think that the base level of story, or I don't want to say plot, because plot's
You're a plot
everywhere in
guy.
these movies.
You're a plot guy.
It's not insane, but it is incredibly. I mean, there's no big difference. I mean, watching a Marvel movie. I mean, there's a difference, but Marvel movies are the same, right? Like, here's this scene where we're building plot and we're discovering things.
But
then
Wick
here's
1,
a sequence.
Here's the payoff.
John Wick
Yeah, here's
1
the sequence.
is so simple to plot, and you don't even have to really worry about it.
It's an insane
His
plot.
dog.
It's a revenge story, basically.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like,
The dog that his dead wife gave him.
gets killed by Theon Greyjoy. Yeah.
By Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's like it's viewing the beauty of the choreography,
And I
the
think that's why I
sequences.
appreciated these John Wick films, is because they didn't need to be so insane and
Convoluted and whatnot.
yeah, and it is mostly him. I don't even want to say he's struggling, but it's him being what he was put on this earth to be, mass murderer
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
of bad guys. He doesn't kill good guys.
I prefer the more PC term assassin. Thank you.
Sure, yeah. Assassin.
PC.
Yeah,
But yeah, I love it.
He says we prefer to go by assassins, sir.
The second one is a lot more fun. I'll say that.
Right, yeah, exactly. I think true action is a thing of beauty in cinema. Like, you can't really, everyone knows Mad Max, the Road Warrior, and like, even when people, I've never seen it, but like, you go back further than that, you have like, isn't there like an actual 11-minute like scene in like Stagecoach or something at the very end where like stuff is happening?
Oh, geez, yeah. So I love stage. Oh, I love John Ford's westerns,
Yeah, I was
even though
gonna
they're
say.
problematic
All
for
right,
Native
all
Americans.
right.
Yeah, I was about to say nowadays, yeah, definitely. But
Yeah, Stagecoach had some of the best. John Wayne is a stuntman, and they discovered him on Stagecoach. They're like, man, you're really good at talking. But there was a guy in Stagecoach who, and it was real because they didn't have effects. There's a stagecoach going like 100 miles an hour. He crawls out of the back of the stagecoach, crawls underneath all the horses on the front, and hops on like one of the horses or something.
yeah,
But it's an uninterrupted take because they were like, this guy's really
yeah, and it's
Crawling
something they hadn't
underneath
done
that
before.
So Brent and I on Director Showdown.
first plug of the night, baby.
Director Showdown is a podcast where we face off directors, and we're doing this season Carpenter versus Cronenberg.
Ooh.
And a recent episode that we did was They Live by John Carpenter. And John Carpenter's a big John Wayne fan, big Western guy.
Yeah, Howard Hawks.
So
right?
I want
Howard
to.
Hawks. He likes Howard Hawks movies. Yeah.
I'm not an expert, but I know you guys know all about Westerns.
I
So
love
wanted to
westerns.
ask, have you guys seen They Live?
I have actually not seen They Live.
What the
By
fuck?
Carpenter, right? Yeah, Roddy
yeah,
Piper.
So there,
Chewing gum?
So there's
A
a
lot of
sequence that is about like 6 minutes long where they're fighting. It's like an like it's not one cut, but like it's a long fight
Action-
sequence.
yeah,
and
action shot,
apparently
yeah.
it's based off like a John Wayne action sequence where he's fighting a guy through town. Do you know what movie that is?
He's in a lot of movies.
The Searchers?
I'm not sure.
The one that where he just like fights a guy through town. It's almost comedic, but it's a whole like.
It kind of happens at the end of Stagecoach because the whole thing is he's going somewhere.
Yeah, I was
for
wondering if that was
revenge,
that was
but
it. Yeah.
I don't know. I'll dive deeper into Wikipedia. Let me say 11011. Wait, why am I writing code? for
But that's
Wikipedia?
really funny that you say that, though, because a lot of stuff nowadays, like even action sequences, are usually modeled off of a very classic sequence that
Yeah.
the director's a fan of. Like,
Well, this film, a lot of films could be westerns because westerns have these universal themes and they're easy to understand.
yeah, like life
Because
and
most
death.
of the time
like,
it's revenge, life or death, and the archetypes are they're really like there's the drunk. That's all he does. He's not. I mean, he could be dimensional, but something happened and made him a drunk. But that's it. Like he's
Yeah.
not complicated.
Or like
He's
a soft-spoken
drunk.
man who
Yeah.
has like a very mysterious past who's
Right.
trying to get away from it. Like that's a
from,
Western
from
archetype.
nature sort
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
He's a wild man coming into civilization.
In a lot of
right?
these movies, John Wick, you could say, would be like a cowboy
Like
or
a gunslinger
Yeah,
character. Yeah,
There's in the Searchers, John. Oh, I don't know.
John Wayne.
John Wick.
Well, John Wayne.
Oh,
John
John
Wick is
Wayne.
in the Searchers. One of the bigger things in a lot of these movies is with John Wayne's character is at the end of it he can't stay and settle down. He has to just keep on moving on. Like a lot of times they're like, "Why don't you stay here on the farm? Everything will be okay." And he just tips his hat and he says, "I can't, little lady. I gotta go on."
I wanted to
like John Wick.
I wanted to put this out there because I feel like most action movies are like reverse slasher movies.
Yeah. How so? What do you mean?
Because like the big bad is actually the protagonist. Like
Interesting.
because like
okay.
the John Wick character is like Mike Myers or something.
Killing a bunch of people.
He's killing a bunch of people, right?
Oh, you're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's a reverse body count. Like instead of good guys, you're racking up body count for
It's
like
just
bad
his
guys.
perspective of what he's doing.
Like you're supporting the serial killer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because he keeps hiring more bad
And I feel like
guys
that's most action movies, right? It's just reverse horror.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what we got to do? We got to shoot like a short, or maybe, short, on one of the bodyguards who like
That's what I'm saying.
just sees the guy for
That's what
1
I'm
second,
saying.
gets shot, and he's like, oh, that was...
That is actually a really good idea.
All
for
guys have a great
They had
life
They have
insurance
lives.
policy.
They had lives before this.
Yeah.
They woke up and got breakfast this morning.
Yeah. They're like, man, I hope I don't get killed by John Wick today.
And then they get stabbed in the head with a pencil.
But to be related, they literally call him the boogeyman. So it's like he's
That's
like
true.
the monster.
And
it's
that's
Baba
weird.
Yaga.
Why didn't you just make that the name of the movie? Oh, I guess the boogeyman might be... As a
It's
different... It's a horror movie.
it's a
Okay.
little-
What's the name of Boogeyman? What do they call? I don't know if you guys
Baba
know
Yaga.
Russian.
Baba Yaga.
The Russian
Baba
boogeyman.
Yaga.
Yeah, the
That's
Russian
a good
boogeyman.
name for a movie.
That was actually referenced in Ant-Man and the Wasp too.
Oh,
like,
okay.
earlier
Really?
this year. Yeah, Baba Yaga. Because like that one of the characters is Russian in that movie. So
Fuck Russians.
well, the Russian. It's a
sorry,
Baba
is
Yaga
that a
is like
hot
a
take?
Russian boogeyman. That's what it is. Like it's a legend of a Russian boogeyman. So like apparently. John Wick kills a lot in Russia, apparently.
A lot of these bad guys are Russian. But
They are, yeah.
Speaking of the Russians, they are not the only crime enterprise, because in this film, it definitely builds a lot of, we're talking about lore, but a really big world
I think
based
that's
around...
what separates this movie from the first
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was.
lore.
Let's go into that then. So the first one, there wasn't a whole lot of world building, right? Or not really?
No.
A little bit.
A little bit.
There's a good amount to where it's like, I wonder what
Yeah, the
what
hotel
all
in
this is all
itself. What do they
about.
call the hotel? The
Continental.
The Continental itself is insane. That's in the first one. It was like, that's weird.
Yeah.
All these assassins you assume are just there,
Yeah, just hanging out.
getting their stuff dry cleaned. What else do you at a hotel?
You get guns,
Sleep.
maybe.
Sleep, get
They
guns.
fuck.
But it seems like the
fucked.
Continental. I mean,
In
in
more
this,
ways than one.
in this film, definitely. But the Continental also provides the service, the guns, the bulletproof suits.
It's like a hub for
Yeah.
assassins. It's like a convention center for assassins.
and
Like
they know.
Buc-ee's for
Yeah,
assassins.
it's like a Buc-ee's
Buc-ee's
gas
for
station.
assassins.
53 toilets.
So for those who are not from Texas,
yeah, Buc-ee's is a
I forgot.
chain.
Sorry, guys.
Their mascot is a beaver. It's a humongous gas station. Like, it's an insanely big gas station. There's no reason for it. I don't know when 1,000 people.
What are you talking about? There's no reason for it.
Why do 1,000 people need to fill up at the same time? Doesn't make any sense.
It's an event, Delphin.
God, if you spend more than 30 minutes at a gas station, you're on
Those kolaches are fucking
You're doing.
sick as
You're
fuck,
either
dude.
doing crack or you work there. If you're there for longer than 30 minutes,
I don't think they allow like minorities at Buc-ee's, honestly.
What? What is happening?
Well, like Buc-ee's seems like a very like white supremacist place. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
That is
Shots fired. Is that shots fired?
that could have been shots
Buc-ee's-
fired. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. So, what do you think about all the world building that goes on in this? What else do
In
they?
Buc-ee's?
So we talk about. There's the Continental.
Buc-ee's world building.
Yeah, there's a Continental, and apparently there's an underground
The
use
table,
of hobos.
the high table. Oh yeah,
the high tables.
the
Yeah,
hobos.
there's a bunch of hobos that like kind of are. It kind of makes you think twice. Watching this movie, you're like, it makes you think twice about giving change to
is
a
hobos
homeless
the
man.
correct term we should be using in
Probably
2018?
not. Probably not. No.
Is
it
hobos
homeless?
really derogatory?
Homeless?
Is it?
Hobos?
I think it's
don't know.
homeless. Yeah, I think we should
I guess
probably change the
homeless
word.
people's a
Home,
more
no
PC
home,
term.
no home folk.
I think the
No
marker
home
is the
folk.
most important lore aspect to this.
On
new-
this one, yeah.
Yeah.
So
this new
explain because it's like a
one. Yeah,
birth.
Delphin, explain the marker.
Basically, Chewbacca has it with Han Solo.
Well,
What?
It's basically a blood oath, or what is it? Like,
blood pact, man.
yeah, blood pact. Yeah.
but it's also a physical thing. It's a
Yeah,
golden
and actually,
marker.
yeah, you have to cut yourself on this very metal, rusty-looking thing.
You open it, put your bloody thumbprint in it.
You get
and then
tetanus afterwards.
You stamp it again. What is insane is the San Antonio guy or San Diego. What's his name?
Santino D'Antonio. Yeah, I guess so. It is San Antonio.
He shows because they tell him
It had to be.
like whatever, mark off the marker or whatever. He shows a book and he also checks it off there. But there's so many things in that book.
So
Does he
let's-
have a
let's
ton of
rewind it
mark?
a bit.
Oh yeah.
Rewind a bit.
Okay.
Because what? You're out of control. I'm going to take control of this podcast for you.
He's not even
I'm
drinking.
I'm Delphin, and I'm the host of this podcast.
And I'm Adam. I had sex first. Is that how you say it at the bars?
Yes.
Okay.
At all the bars. Anyways.
Who fucked first, Han or Adam?
What?
It's a Han Solo thing.
Oh.
Who shot first?
I see.
Greedo.
I'm sorry I missed that one.
Yeah, sorry. You made me feel.
Alright.
I doubted my
You
comedy
doubted
skills
your
there.
joke. That's the worst when like you got a joke right and you doubt yourself because
Yeah.
no one laughed at it.
That just happened. Awesome.
Yeah.
John, you have an audience of 2 and 50% laughed.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think those are
There you
good.
go.
That's
There you
good
go.
enough.
Yeah.
The other one's throwing up the middle finger right at their headphones right now.
But anyways, the marker was given to Santino when John Wick had done the blood oath with him because that impossible task that John Wick did in the first one
The
was
Kessel
only
Run.
done because shut the fuck up.
It's like his Kessel Run. Oh my God, he's Han Solo.
I'm loving this. Keep going.
Yeah, but Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. That's my impression of Aldrich.
I'm Han
Alden
Solo.
Ehrenreich or something.
I thought you were
Right.
doing Owen
Han
Wilson.
Solo.
Wow.
It's like
I'm Han Solo.
Go on.
no,
Adam.
but he did the impossible task that we still don't really know the full details of with the help of D'Antonio. So he did that. D'Antonio only did that because he would have the marker thing, a blood pact.
It's like
so,
an I owe you or you owe me.
yeah. So at any time, John Wick has to obey like a request that D'Antonio does based off the since they did the marker thing.
There are a lot of rules in this world that they've built.
But
There's-
it's just the 2 rules. That's all you need to know.
I don't know. It seems like every
What other
movie
rule-
they add
what other
another rule.
rule?
Well,
You
you can't
got-
kill anyone at the Continental.
That's easy.
If you have a marker, you can't. You have to honor the
Yeah,
marker.
to honor a marker. That's easy.
But then there's, I guess
What
that is
else?
it, huh?
That's it. You just have the little
Wait,
gold coins.
No, because there's also a group of secretary operators, and you have to
That-
call, and they. What
That's
do they
not
do?
a rule, though. They're a service.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
this,
fine.
this is protocol, basically. in a way.
That's not a rule. It's a service. Like they're providing like mass messaging for the assassins. You know,
There are apps for that.
So
I
this
gotta
movie-
talk to this group.
John Wick, the app where you got
Yeah, well,
The Continental app. The Continental app.
Yeah.
It's weird. They use these analog phones to answer phone calls, but then they send a text message
Yeah. Right after that.
to everyone's cell phones. Why don't you just cut the middleman?
So
Yeah.
this movie is technically about like the consequences about being in this organization.
Right,
Because the first
right.
one's is straight up from the way y'all talk about it. And I swear to you, I
it's
have seen the
revenge.
first one.
It's
yeah,
Very
that-
personal revenge.
Yeah, the first one's
movie.
basically a basic revenge story, and this one's about the consequences of that said story and of being in this organization as a whole. Because
Like
it's-
the lore is definitely like what is driving this movie. You
Mhm.
know, like
Yeah,
having
exactly.
that world. Like you can't just leave that assassin world so easily.
It's a weird world because there's respect and there's honor, but at the end of the day, they're all probably criminals.
yeah,
too,
they're all
right?
it's crime
well,
bosses
it's like
basically.
honor among thieves sort
yeah,
of thing.
kind
you
of,
know?
yeah. And then you
And you got gilfs.
Oh, I guess so. Sorry, I agreed to that. But yeah, I guess you do have that too. I think it's awesome though because like it does deal with like because John Wick is this legendary character that's put on a pedestal in these movies, and he thinks the rules don't apply to him, and apparently this movie is like the whole that's the topic of this movie. It's
Yeah.
like, stuff doesn't apply to him, but it really does.
He's
you know,
akin
since
to
he's
like
in it.
the Hulk, who just goes and does whatever he wants.
Right, but
He's
there
a
has to be a
force.
reckoning eventually. Yeah.
Everyone knows who he is. They recognize him. Everyone gets scared when they're like, "Oh my god, do you know whose car that is, or do you know who that guy was? It's John Wick." You've
That's
ruined
what I
my
love
life.
about this film is just that sort of thing where everyone is aware of who John Wick is. Reminds me of like Escape from New York because
Oh god,
you
Because
know
you were on this podcast for that one.
no, because that's the Director Showdown episode that's out right.
Oh, that's right,
second
my bad.
plug, 2 plugs, baby.
Fuck, I just fucked up. You
Yo,
were on
it-
Escape from LA.
It's
on
totally
this one.
related
Yeah.
though, but like Snake Plissken in that, like everyone knows who he is, and it just makes a cool like atmosphere because
Yeah.
it's like holy shit, like this guy's like a big fucking deal because everywhere he goes, it's like, oh man, that's John Wick.
He has a lot of history, a lot of baggage, or people know what his feats. But it does make you kind of crave for. I mean, it doesn't, because it's okay to have a pre-history, but like for a
Pre-existing condition.
Yeah, it's okay to have a pre-existing condition. It's okay now to have it. Okay. Obama. But it does make you want a prequel or something where maybe a young.
No, don't do that.
You know what? Let's
do that.
Let's talk to Netflix.
It's like having John McClane in a prequel to Die Hard,
which is actually happening.
Yeah, I know, but it's like you're taking away
the
cool mystery background of this awesome character.
Yeah, but we need content.
That's true.
No,
I mean,
that's what ruined Han Solo, the solo Star Wars
this could
movie.
be.
I'm gonna go ahead and half agree with Adam, because like as much as
John, no, John, this could be a Snapchat original.
John, please.
This could be a Snapchat.
Well, I was only half agreeing with you. I'm just saying,
What
like,
do you mean half agreeing?
Because like I
full agree with me. How about 3/4? I'll take that.
John, I laughed at your joke.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Because like I understand as a person who likes to or would want to create stories that have been seen by everybody one day, you do want to have a finality to the said story, because all great stories have an ending to them. Stuff nowadays is but the other half is like, or the half that I agree with you with is the fact that like, you don't want stuff to be ruined by exposition. That's what we got. That's how the Star Wars prequels came about and stuff like that. Like, no one's itching to know why the fuck, someone did this or what. Like, it's cooler when you don't know, because you're like, oh shit, like you don't know anything about that guy. Like, he just showed up and he's just popping people off and stuff.
It's a vessel that you let your imagination input into, and that's what makes them cooler than they actually are.
Exactly, yeah, because most of the time the defining moment comes in the movie that you're watching. Like, you know everything you know about the character because he just showed it to you. You don't need a backstory, an extra movie to explain that. And so, like, I understand that.
Like, I don't need to see John Wick as a child.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to see him, like, damaged and, like, him getting his first kill, like, at fucking age whatever.
We could do a young Sheldon, some kind of...
Oh, no.
That being said... the other half that doesn't agree with you is like, I do like these stories. Why don't they just make more of them? Like, so that's just me as a fan saying, like,
well, I mean,
like,
I mean,
go for it.
Do you really need a John Wick like prequel?
I mean, the Continental, though, which is apparently supposed to be made like an actual prequel on the organization is okay.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, I get
but not
that,
about
but
John
not like
Wick.
A John Wick prequel.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like the Han Solo. That's what I'm talking about. It's like I don't need to know where Solo came from.
You don't even know where his name came from.
He got his name because he was by himself.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing about that movie. Oh, I don't even know if I said that on the podcast. God damn, yeah.
The smartest thing about this movie is Common. He is sexy.
Oh yeah,
Common is so sexy.
Let's talk about the cast of this film, starting with Common.
Yeah.
Common. A lot of this film are really fantastic actors facing off with
other fantastic actors,
other assassins.
Well,
Ruby Rose could,
Ruby Rose is still pretty great. I mean, we kind of ripped on her. She's pretty awesome.
All right.
She's got a screen presence that probably may have been stereotyped with this movie.
But Morpheus is in this film.
Morpheus is in this film
for a little bit.
Lawrence Fishburne.
In the original one, Willem Dafoe plays a really big role. Remember that?
Yeah, he was amazing in the first one.
Oh, was he really in that first one? God damn, maybe I need to watch that first one again.
He was awesome. He was awesome in that film. But there,
Ian McShane. Ian McShane is pretty great.
Who's in charge of the Continental in Rome? You said he was
Franco Nero. So Franco Nero is an established Italian actor. He is best known
as an established Italian.
Yeah, established Italian actor. That's what
he's known to be Italian.
He's best known as his role as Django from the 1960s in the Western series Django. Which eventually was homaged with current Quentin Tarantino's film Django Unchained. Yeah,
interesting. I don't.
Franco Nero. Yeah, he's the Rome guy. He's the I guess the owner of the Rome Continental.
What about the Continental in the United States?
Played by Ian McShane.
Blackbeard. Yeah,
Ian McShane. Blackbeard from what? Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
He's also in Game of Thrones for some episodes. Yeah, and then he's a great actor. He's in American Gods. He's in the new Hellboy that's coming up. That new one.
I like when you have these. I love when former. I mean, they're not former action stars, so this may not have anything to do with this. I love when really
presence.
strong actors are in these films.
Alpha actors, if you will. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, alpha
Omega.
alpha screen presence actors. Like, Ian
Yeah.
McShane is like a guy who, like, when he talks, you listen to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything else,
Yeah.
no matter who's in the scene, like, that's the person who's drawing your attention to him.
Well, a lot of these, a lot of the main actors or characters in this film are mob bosses, or they're in charge somewhere in the Continental. We talk about that high table. We haven't even seen half of everyone on that table.
No, not at all.
Yet, but yeah, you figure they all have to kind of match up to, the Godfather.
Mm-hmm. So Common is cool.
Yeah.
Because... I'm sorry. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We did about
but-
10 minutes on Common, and then we both
man.
recited a Common song.
Look, I want a Common spin-off John Wick movie where he's like being an assassin, and we all want to know what Common's up to because he's so cool in this movie. I think he's super. He's like a cool equal to John Wick. You know what I mean?
He's also was he he's
an assassin.
John Wick kills the sister of Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Gina San Antonio.
Was Common her bodyguard?
Yeah,
Bodyguard.
like, I guess it's
or
her-
was it
her
a little
ward.
more than that?
I don't know.
See,
that's like
there's a little
that's
something
the
there.
that's the juicy part about it. Like,
I
why
mean,
would you want to?
Because he's taking
Common was your bodyguard, what would you do with
Well,
him?
I asked only because he's taking it really hard to the point of getting revenge.
Well, he literally said like I was really close to her. Yeah. So.
Well, he does say that, but also like it seems like everybody in this business takes their job very, very fucking seriously.
Ruby Rose would, and that's what we talked about this a little earlier. Is would all these people are dying for one person?
Yeah.
And it's insane because either
would you not die for your SO, Delphin?
My what?
Your
My
significant
what?
other?
Oh,
Jesus Christ, man!
What did you call me? I don't. Well, yeah, I would, but
My sacred officer?
I don't think all these people consider their mob bosses their SOs. I mean, some of them have to see this as employment, right? Or
I guess so, but
I
like,
wouldn't die for my job.
Well, like the thing is that these people are on like an international level.
Yeah,
and it's like the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
So it's not like the only way you could get that job is if you would die for the
cause.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's. What's the body count?
It's 116. That's how.
Are you
many-
serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't count it, but on the Blu-ray special features, they had a count.
It is a lot of people. He disposes of them in very creative ways. We already talked about the pencil. He shoves a knife into Common.
No, I love this shotgun scene. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, in the tunnels in
movie.
Rome. What I loved about this sequence is you're most of the time you're seeing what he sees, so you don't know what's around the corner, and you're not sure where people are going to come from.
But he knew it because he set up all the guns in the catacombs.
And you talked about earlier how the bullet count is equal to the shot count in the
so his
in the
magazine, like if you count like the bullets that come out of the gun, it matches the magazine. Or he's either he's a little inefficient sometimes, but no one's perfect.
He kills 100 people.
He doesn't use every last round in the magazine, but
Yeah.
He's getting the job done. But like, there's the choreography is accounts for the rounds that are in the gun, which is like kind of not what most action films do.
Oh, not at all. Yeah, we
Like-
talked earlier. Most of the time, you just shoot until you're out, and then
Yeah.
you I'm out of bullets. But it's also crazy.
But some guns don't even have they have almost unlimited magazines.
Yeah.
On some movies.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's there are a lot of sequences in this where you see him having to load or reload, or he has that thing where you just flip the ammo upside down and slap it
what
back
was
in.
sick was that he he's reloading his shotgun, but then he gets ambushed by some guys, but he
reloading,
uses his handgun as he's reloading his shotgun. And
Which
it's
is
it's so cool to have that awareness.
yeah, because it's a very real thing. Like,
Yeah.
what people will ask, like, well, what if you just shoot him while he's reloading? And he's just like, he takes that into account in the movie. So, like, It's pretty awesome.
Well, he had to probably go through some sort of tactical training, or because this is also not normal. Like, if you can go to SWAT training and not know the things that he's doing, like he's doing some.
What, are you the expert at SWAT training?
Yeah, I SWAT people all the time. Go to my Twitch.
I set you up for that one, Chief.
John.
Sorry,
Wilkinson.
my bad.
What?
John Wilkinson.
Huh?
John Wick. John Wick 2 is this movie. Sorry.
What are you doing over there?
John, take your hands out of your pants.
I'm so
what
sorry.
Are you doing
What are you
right now?
fiddling around in there
Yeah.
for? You got a Hershey's that you're looking for in your pants?
Hershey's?
Because your fingers are coming out brown.
You better share that Hershey's with us, Chief.
John's fingers are all covered in something brown,
Yeah.
and his hands are in his pants. So we're figuring he's digging for Hershey's.
Yeah, sorry.
It smells like poop, though.
God damn it. I'm just going to add to this joke. I was literally going to say what I was doing, but never mind.
What are you doing?
No, it's very unexciting. I just got a text from work. That's
Okay,
why,
all right.
No.
Well, what?
My bad.
What else?
So the director's wife is on this, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Is she the violin player?
She's the French violin player.
Or is it a viola? I
the
didn't know.
benefit
Viola.
of nepotism.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Goddamn.
Ever the cynic.
That's how you
Duffin.
got. Yeah, that's how you got here, Dolphin.
That's true, but I slept my way to the middle.
But she is also on. She's also the stunt double for
Black Widow, right?
Black
Is that what you said?
Widow,
Yeah. So
yeah.
Scarlett Johansson. That's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
It was pretty cool to see her because she's the stunt double for Ruby Rose in this film as well.
In this movie, that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
So I remember watching the behind the scenes, and she's dressed up in Ruby Rose attire. A little jarring, but you know.
Yeah. Well, this is really cool when it comes to like actually film. This is a movie that I feel like would be really fun to film because it's obviously very, very physical for all the actors.
It's fast paced.
Fast paced, even for the crew. I mean, the crew is probably scratching their heads every single setup. Like, you know, just like, what the fuck do we do now?
I don't know why I was gonna say Tom Cruise. Keanu Reeves had done like
Some people call him the Tom Cruise of the '90s.
Well, I think Keanu Reeves is far superior to Tom Cruise.
Snap, Tom.
But
I'll back that. That's pretty great.
He did a bunch of jiu-jitsu for this film, like a bunch of training.
3 months.
Like
3 months of training,
right?
yeah, for jiu-jitsu, judo, and like marksman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like marksmanship, yeah.
You see a lot of very cool jiu-jitsu and combining it with guns, which is like a very unique thing. So it's like gung fu,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And that's what makes John Wick so much cooler than most action films, is that combination of martial arts and guns, you know.
Yeah.
Usually it's either one or the other, not this cool combination of the two.
Well, they're able to do that because his suit is bulletproof.
Okay.
Sorry,
but given
real
to
life.
him, you know
like,
that
this is a
tailor,
plot point here.
That tailor is actually just a tailor. The guy who yeah, he's like a costume designer.
Real life.
Yeah.
Well, so-
Oh, that's really awesome. So he was like legitimately like delivering these lines like, well, this is what
Yeah.
I have to do for you anyway, so like
Exactly. It wasn't
That's fucking great.
All those questions. So this may be too far inside baseball, but we may not know the answer. But who's on first? I'm just kidding. No.
Oh my god.
No, but you
What's
saw
on first?
some of the behind the scenes. Do you think they they probably rehearsed one day?
Yeah, they probably did.
For a
They
while.
probably
Okay,
rehearsed
good.
one
All
day.
right, good.
Yeah.
Question answered. Asked and answered. I just think there's an insane amount of planning and pre-planning that you have to do for a movie this heavy.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
Even from the very beginning, the car sequence has a lot of practical people in harm's way. In a lot of the film, landing on the car, being hit by the car, being hit by the door, flipping on a motorcycle.
I watched a little bit of it, and whenever they had to get Keanu's reaction shots in the car, they had this thing like called I think it was like a pod car. So the guy, there would be a guy, they attach a rig on top of the car who's actually driving the Mustang. It looked really crazy because you have like this like cage with a guy on the hood of the car, and he's driving the car as Keanu's like reacting to the whole situation.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I was like, that's
and it's dangerous work. I mean, someone died last year on Deadpool 2, right? Or
Yeah, they did actually.
so a lot of this is
Which is one of the
Tough
directors
stuff.
of the
Was it
first
worth
one
it?
went, have you seen Deadpool 2?
no.
I actually can't say. I don't know why I would want to answer that. I don't know if it's worth it or not. I'm so
It's a
sorry.
trap
this
door.
I have to apologize to whoever the hell is a fan of this person. So damn
What?
it.
Well, anyway,
I was about to say yes, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is wrong with me?
but you gotta.
It's pretty much you're fucked either way.
Big
with
time.
that,
Sorry,
yeah.
guys. I'll take all of this fuckery here.
But you gotta really appreciate all of the people who work behind the scenes and behind the camera of this film, because normally those sequences are one or twice in a movie, and then everyone breathes a sigh of relief because the rest is CGI. But this entire movie is
What's
that.
cool and unique to John Wick is that, like we talked about before, it's made by stunt
stunt people, yeah.
right?
stunt folk,
Stunt folk.
Stunt
you know,
folk.
they're not really respected in society, but
carnies.
I mean, we joke about that, but they're really not.
No.
They don't
Like, you
have.
know, it's just
they
like-
don't have an
they're
Oscar
really
category.
Not, 'cause
They don't
there
have.
should be an Oscar category.
They don't have awards.
They
Absolutely.
should definitely. They
There ought
definitely
to be.
should.
Like they gave what was that new Oscar category? Like most
Popular film, and then they took it away.
Who
'cause
the
it was
fuck
just like,
cares about that?
yeah, that's like really dumb. That's
Give
like
stunt people
Yeah, it's true.
their due.
They risk their lives literally.
They literally risk their
they're
lives.
literally the reason why like something looks cool on screen.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all that shit. It's not, you're not watching Benedict Cumberbatch do all that shit, or like, you know.
Oh snap! Shots
well, I'm
fired,
saying, like, well,
Benedict.
I was trying to like you know
Smaug.
get an actual
Smaug.
like connection to people's like love of like big action sequences, like the Avengers or something like that. Like that's not them doing that. Like
It's
that's
CGI,
somebody else.
right.
Or it's CGI, or it's like, you know, in this case, like where people are actually fighting each other. Like, you know, Keanu Reeves didn't go down those stairs. It's a stunt person who's going down the
Right,
stairs. So it's
Well,
just like
to be fair, Keanu did do a lot of.
he did 95 until he had to go down the stairs or get hit by a car. Like that's what he had to
You know,
do.
Tom Cruise does 100% of his stunts.
He's also a Scientologist.
Ah, you got me there.
Xenu,
But the thing is, like,
Xenu
it's-
protects him. From,
It's so crazy because, like, you
danger.
know, these people put their lives on the line. They, like, you know,
No,
flip
it's
cars.
absolutely,
They, like,
yeah.
they do all this other shit for, like, people. They're the people in the foreground whenever, like, an explosion happens. Like, you know, shrapnel could be going through their hearts, and, like, you.
Yeah,
wouldn't,
let's
like,
start a
care.
hashtag. Hashtag Oscars so
not
stunt.
Yeah. Oscar's so safe.
Oscars so safe.
There you go.
I don't know in the current climate if we should
Actually,
want them to be not safe.
No, but
You want it
that's
to
a
be
good point.
unsafe,
It's-
John?
It's really terrible that Hollywood does not recognize a stunt double.
There's some
for what
people's,
they
yeah,
do.
because like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of the excitement. I feel like in film, like, all of us here are filmmakers. You know, we've all worked in film before. You can't.
Hello, my name is John Favreau.
The thing is, like, you know, you can't. We shy away from stunts because, like, who's gonna do that? Like,
And
Yeah,
it's
who's
not
gonna
fake.
commit to it,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Whereas someone's gonna get hurt if we do
like
it.
Adam, go jump on the floor. The floor
Hell,
is
I'd
concrete.
fucking do it if you guys asked me to.
I'll do it if you don't ask.
You'll
me.
probably do it once, and then like afterwards, you're just like, all right, did we get it?
Would you
Like-
jump out of a moving car for a shoot?
If you asked me to, I would do it for you, Delphin.
Whoa!
Delphin is writing
I'm
something
ready,
down
man.
right now.
I'm ready. I got insurance.
Page 1: man jumps out of car.
Man, page 2, man jumps out of another car.
Page 2: contingent on survival of
Of man.
of completion of page 1. That's insane. But yeah, this movie is definitely an appreciation to all of those stunt folk.
Especially during the actual, you know, hand-to-hand fighting, because there's some actual hand-to-hand fighting in the beginning. I feel like this movie really shines during its actual, like, to me, the money shot sequence, if anything.
Oh yeah, the money shot.
Damn it! I knew I was going to say that, and I was
damn
going to get
it.
a reaction from that. Is the catacombs sequence
That's the best
Yeah.
action sequence in
Oh boy.
cinema
in a while? Actually, in a long
history.
time.
Well,
Long
what's
about
better
cinema.
than it? Think of one right now.
A Mad Max Fury Road sequence, probably.
I
There
don't know, I
was
think
that
it's better
scene
than that.
in
I think it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man. Like, it's just like
I love Mad Max. Don't get me wrong.
the Fury Road though is like
I
that's
love that.
that's not
I
just
love
you're not
that
just
sequence.
you're not just dealing with bodies in that point. Like that's like a whole anyway.
No,
go on,
yeah.
sorry.
Kingsman was good too. There's that Kingsman.
Kingsman is not bad.
pretty
Yeah,
sad,
It's
yeah.
pretty-
Church
pretty
scene that-
unbroken. Yeah,
Everybody
But
loves. I just don't know how much
I
of that
only
is real.
say
though.
because Keanu Reeves put so much into it, like, and they put so much thought, and it's just like all this muscle memory that's like amazing.
that has to go with that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah,
And
in
it
that
looks
case,
fucking sick.
yeah.
you
In
know?
that case, I will agree with you because, like,
Yeah.
obviously, the Mad Max Fury Road stuff was months of reshoots and a year and two
No.
years like of
I
production
don't.
and stuff.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
get it, yeah.
putting that one down. I think
Adam,
that one's
you
fucking
think
amazing.
Mad Max sucks.
no, yeah, exactly.
Shut
but
up.
It's different. It's apples and oranges, really.
It is apples and oranges.
Exactly,
Fair
because
enough.
these are all like human-made stunts on the ground, as opposed to let's.
Did you guys do a Mad Max episode?
We did actually. It was one of our best.
What?
was
We
on
did it
that?
right after the movie came out, I think.
It wasn't. It was just a 3 host thing for that one. It wasn't an actual one, but
I think we.
it was. Yeah, we came out right after the movie. We were like on a high
I think
on that movie.
Nobody liked it, right? Was that the? I'm just
No, I
kidding.
think it was like one of our
Whoa.
best. It was one of our best episodes. I feel like technical wise, because we all talk about the stuff in the movie.
That
in
was
one.
years ago, John.
It was years ago.
Maybe we should be getting more technical with this
Oh
one.
yeah.
then.
What do you think about the aspect ratio? Good choice, bad choice?
I
what
like
is
the
it?
blues and the oranges.
I disagree. I like the purples and the browns.
Actually, the cinematography for this movie is really impressive.
It's far superior to the first
amazing.
one. For
Yeah,
sure.
It is,
Yeah.
and that I think that goes along with me thinking the production quality was much better. Is they were able to do more with the camera in this movie than they did the first one.
The first one, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, especially with this, because there's during the catacomb sequence, there's unbroken takes of him running through multiple hallways of him just shooting people, and it's just that's the thing of beauty, because you don't have unbroken takes, because they're very hard to actually pull off, because they're an actual continuous long shot of shit is involves a months of planning. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, when I take a shit, I have to plan it out. for
Yeah,
months
everyone
in
Google
advance.
continuous long shot of shit.
God damn
Get
it.
that in
Sorry.
real time.
I'm sorry, John. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
There's a
you're
lot of hard work. I just watched. This is a different thing. But Haunting on Hill House has a continuous.
God, everyone's
It's very
talking about
good.
that goddamn show.
Yeah.
Triggered.
good.
Adam's triggered.
You gotta watch
the thing
it,
is,
bro.
I'm interested, but I don't like shows. I like movies over shows.
It would,
Bro, I like storytelling.
Oh god,
Content.
content.
Display.
Relax.
There's this show on Snapchat I like.
Visual storytelling,
Look.
motherfucker, is
Look, it's TV shows, and I just don't like committing to TV shows.
Yeah, I
You
can see
gotta
that. I can
commit
see
to
that.
Haunting on Hill House. It's really
Commit to
I heard
Maniac.
It's really good.
It's really
on
Really?
Netflix. Maniac on Netflix.
Because I
Fuck
heard it's
Maniac.
all right.
Haunting.
Yeah,
on,
it's all right, but
Haunting
it's,
on Hill
it's
House. A1.
contained.
And one steak sauce.
It's there's so much thought into Haunting
one
on Hill
sticks
House. I don't want to ruin anything.
You guys are turning into clones of each other on the podcast.
Well, I
it's
mean,
so weird.
You can if you
Because
the-
we're half Filipino, is that it?
it's the you,
Ouch.
racist.
Racist.
John's a racist. We said that together and holding hands.
This is awesome. No, it's not awesome, actually. My bad.
We're on Filipino polar bear rugs right now.
What is that? Like
United.
a bad?
Filipino polar bears would be a sick band name. Not gonna lie.
God damn.
Oh.
There's whiskey involved in this podcast, guys. Sorry. Just wanted
Yep,
to say that
absolutely.
out loud.
Well, what else about John Wick should we?
Not the score, because the score isn't that great,
Jeez,
in my
John.
opinion.
Oh my God.
Jesus,
Wow,
John.
a lot of hard people.
Sorry, you said we wanted to talk about technical aspects, so I was like, I can't really remember
Okay,
much
let's
actual.
talk technical. I guess the runtime.
Okay, where's the mirror, John? Whoops.
Oh yeah,
I mean, where's the camera?
I knew this was going to come into play.
There were a
actually.
lot of shots, including mirrors, and John didn't know where the camera was.
I don't know
That's
why I was called out for that. I just pointed out one mirror shot at the beginning, and
That's why we're making fun of him.
everyone, yeah,
no,
everyone jumped on
a
that.
more serious note, reflections is a huge theme in this movie.
Yeah, it is actually. It's pretty awesome.
So, what do you guys think is the meaning behind reflections? Because John's always has a mirror in front of him. Even the
He's a reflection now,
yeah.
just on the wall. As
So,
he
what do you
walks
think
by.
is the meaning behind the reflections?
I think it's it goes to show that he can't really escape it. Like, he kind of wants to. He thinks he, and I don't know if he thinks he does this, but just he probably he's surrounded by mirrors and stuff. Maybe the character thinks he sees himself in a different way, but he's not really that person.
Yeah, maybe
Right,
it's a
man.
constant reminder of who he
of
is.
who he actually is.
Or
Yeah, exactly.
he doesn't ever do any self-reflection at all.
Possibly.
Because
Wait.
he has there's a deleted scene
Whoa.
Okay.
with Luigi, aka John Leguizamo,
John Leguizamo. Yeah.
where he says he it's like an offhand line. He
Yeah.
says that guy has attachment issues, and it's that's exactly like John Wick's problem. He doesn't ever let go of things. He doesn't let go of his wife who died. Literally, all he had to do was just kind of she died. I loved her, but it's time to move on.
That's
sort of
true.
thing.
The mob boss
You know?
even offered to be like, "I'll give you whatever you want. I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No."
No, his character flaw is attachment.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
So like he's attached. The unspoken thing that he's trying to get to is like he's attached to his old life, like just just killing and stuff. He does. I mean, I don't know if he enjoys it or not, but like it seems like he does.
Absolutely enjoys it.
He totally does.
Yeah.
Like someone calls him out in this.
He's really good
too.
at it. He's ridiculously good at killing
and
people.
I love it.
Yeah, well, we love him all for it because it makes for good entertainment. So it's pretty awesome.
It'll be interesting to see what his foil is in
The next one,
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
She still looks pretty good.
Well, we're yet because so far he has not ever. So far he is. Wow, Swordfish, 45 minutes, 32 seconds.
God damn it.
Dude, you took it to another level.
So it'll be interesting because he hasn't met anyone with the same drive as he has yet. Common was close.
Well, Common is pretty damn
close.
close.
Common is pretty common.
That's true, I guess.
Their whole duel is so awesome. I love it. Where they're doing little silencers off the train station.
Yeah. No one even knew. That could be happening all day long. And according to this film, half of New York is an assassin, so more than likely you're sitting next to one right now. Turn to your left. Turn to your right.
Right, exactly.
One of these people
Your New
is
York listeners, hey, be aware. Like,
be
literally.
aware. Be aware if you know Common too.
That's true. Yeah,
If I knew Common, that'd be sick.
he'd try to
as fuck.
shoot you in a crowded area.
Yeah. Nobody's looking.
Only if you killed his ward, his mama.
Would you say that Common is probably a younger reflection of John Wick?
Well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
because it just happened.
Yeah.
Keanu,
Oh, I see. Okay.
you know.
I was like, by age, I feel like they were similar.
Do you think he actually killed Common or not?
No.
No,
I want to
don't
say
think so either.
no,
No.
but the fact that Common isn't returning for John Wick 3, I want to say yes.
Which is so fucking stupid.
And he
right.
smiles.
They have Ruby Rose returning, but not Common.
At the end of this, he smiles too. I mean,
See,
when he dies.
So the official kill count video
Uh-oh.
in the Blu-ray,
Did they list Common?
they didn't list Common,
But
but
they
listed Ruby Rose.
Wow.
Maybe it's a twin situation.
I hope not. 'cause
I
that
hope
would be...
Twins.
Actually, no. This movie is absurd enough to do that with a straight face.
Yeah.
So, like, I
I
can
don't know.
see
I
that.
don't think it would go that far though.
Twins.
Are you sure? Like, there's a comedic. There's like
Her name could be Rose Ruby. Oh, but
'Cause
that's the actress.
this. I guess this is a segue into what I wanted to talk about
Okay.
earlier. Is the fact that, like, do you think this movie is tongue in cheek?
Well, that's interesting because I feel like it's a mix of Kingsman, but not that crazy.
Because that's actually tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
Like,
That's
like,
actually
you know,
tongue-in-cheek.
Part of like new Bond, maybe because Bond is so dark now. You watch James Bond to be sad now.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I
When I
gotta
look at Daniel Craig's 6-pack, I start crying.
everything. They film the new Bond movies with like one light bulb or something. It's just everything's dark. You're like, what's happening? Why is he sad now?
Because she left him, dude. Eva Green betrayed him.
It's because Adele sings the song, and they have to change the script
you know
for
why
her.
that happened actually with the whole serious tone?
Why?
Because Daniel Craig said that since Austin Powers was like
Oh,
a
that's
thing,
interesting. Yeah.
and how like Austin Powers was so comedic that they thought, well, we have to go like completely
Or else
opposite route.
people are gonna associate the. It's interesting because it comes back to our parody satire talk.
Exactly.
Because Austin Powers ruined a lot of those. Not ruined, but spy films can't have too much levity anymore. Because
Because if you look at like James Bond in the past, it's pretty ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like it's all these weird gadgets that would have never
not practical. Like it's a teacup, or there's a hat that has a knife on it. that
There's
he
a
throws
shoe
and
with a
knife on it too.
There's
Whoa.
always knives everywhere.
And so it is kind of a ridiculous movie. But John Wick is, I would say it's not, it's pretty grounded, I'd say.
It's grounded. The thing is, it's so convincing in its universe. I don't know. Like it's not like you know what it is, but it doesn't go too ridiculous from what it is. You know what I mean?
And it doesn't
walks a nice line.
It doesn't go too far into it doesn't explain exactly what these criminals do. They're not selling. You know, we don't know if they're selling drugs or if it's sex workers or whatever.
Actually, you know, I want to get into this for a little bit.
Sex working?
Not sex work. No, I mean, we covered a little bit of lore, but there's some like really interesting things that the director had inputted into it, like knowing that this organization was like a very ancient order, because you have like, you know, the Jewish bank, and then you have like the Catholics and the Pope.
Yeah.
Like they're all like involved in this like
yeah.
Assassin's Creed
Whoa.
thing.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to do that. But,
Shout out.
No, it's like it's kind of cool how like these assassins have gone. They're so deep within like old organizations, you know. Like that's
Yeah. So
that's
is
what's
it
cool about
implied
it.
that they kind of, that high table runs the world in
Yeah.
a way?
It's like the Illuminati sort of
That's-
thing, you know.
Honestly, that's the most fantastical part of it, is these, you know, like families. Like in Twilight, how there's different families of vampires. I assume
Well,
you've
you know,
all
Game of
watched
Thrones.
Twilight.
I've never watched Twilight, but
How about Game of Thrones? There's
Yeah, or
different
like Game of
families
Thrones.
and
It's
stuff.
kind of like that, and I think that's
That was
the,
your first go-to Twilight for the families
Yep.
thing?
that's the only part that's a little, you know, not interesting, but a little bit,
what?
you know,
What?
weird.
Okay, cool.
Fine, I said it.
This is our-
weird.
This is your recommendation to Twilight for us, I feel like. Just
But like Twilight is so good, and it's like better than this. And Twilight, they spent a lot more time working on it, and
Yeah.
you can tell. Like there's a wolf,
And then
there's a
bat,
bat. I don't think there's a
and
bat.
then there's a girl, and she
a
wants to
girl.
have sex with both a bat
Oh
and a
God,
wolf.
she wants to fuck him so bad, but she can't, because if she does it,
Does she have sex with Wolf Guy?
I don't know. There was a scene or two where he winked at her and said, "Hey, doggy style."
next time.
Next time,
No,
doggy
he was
style.
like, "I was Shark Boy." Remember that movie?
Oh, shit.
Shots fired.
and she
Shots
said,
fired.
Yeah.
Rodriguez. Rob Rod. Oh, shit. He's been on this
Hey,
podcast before.
Hey,
Never
you guys
mind.
excited for Alita Battle Angel?
Yes, as a fan of Robert Rodriguez.
"Oh, I can't wait for the porn that's gonna come." From
You know that
this
it's one of the most expensive movies like made so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general.
It's gonna bomb so bad.
James Cameron is attached. It's an instant billion.
He's produced it.
I'll buy you like 10 shots if it doesn't fail.
Jeez, 10 shots.
Yeah, I don't want to die of alcohol poisoning just yet.
No, I
Like,
want
know
you
what
to
I'm saying?
die because like I'd rather have you die than experience the
Be right,
success
Cool.
of
Our
Alita
guest host
Battle
wants me to
Angel.
die, so I don't know where. Like, I'm just saying.
Well, let's. What are some final things you want to talk about here with John Wick 2? John, you got to stop fucking around, okay?
Yeah.
Professors listen to this.
Do they? Holy
Yeah.
shit! I
They're
apologize
writing
for
their
those.
thesis on.
I apologize
John
for those
Wick.
professors.
Professors just put this on instead of teaching their film classes. So I hope that we have provided them some sort of content. Some sort of knowledge base. I've been interviewed so many times by people who are, or who wanna. They need to interview like a media person, and I get these messages on Instagram, and the questions are always the exact same. I feel like it's the exact
are
same
they?
class. Oh, hold on, I gotta look it up.
Okay, we'll give you a second. You got this out.
Yeah, what were you saying? Sorry, I was looking else.
I feel like all of
looking
these
up something
people are.
real quick.
I think they're all in the exact same class because the questions are verbatim the exact same question, and so I'm thinking, you know.
So apparently, Common always plays a contract killer. He plays one in Run All Night in 2015, Wanted in 2008, and in
Yeah.
Smoking Aces in 2006.
Oh yeah, he was in Smoking Aces.
Common was also
a rapper.
a rapper.
Also, John Leguizamo and Franco Nero appeared in Die Hard 2 as members of the same terrorist group.
Oh, and Morpheus and Neo.
Yeah, obviously that's the most obvious. Like,
They're in this.
connection.
Keanu Reeves was in Speed.
hold on. Actually, Peter
He was in Speed?
Stormare.
Yeah.
It's Peter Stormare who plays the
Oh,
dude
we
at the
need to talk
beginning.
about him for a
Yeah, the
little
Russian
bit.
dude who
Yeah.
plays it at the beginning. He's actually in multiple movies with Keanu Reeves. If anyone remembers Constantine, that a weird adaptation,
Yeah,
05.
he wears the same suit.
Yeah, he wears the same suit, but also Peter Stormare is actually Satan in that movie and comes to visit.
Yes.
Comes to visit Keanu Reeves' Constantine character.
Interesting. I love.
They're probably
Constantine.
friends. Yeah, they're probably friends.
Okay,
It's awesome.
Don't project that onto them, John.
It's
You
like,
don't know that.
excuse me.
You're right.
I'm
yeah,
not
you're,
friends with Keanu.
yeah. They only work for like multiple movies. My bad. It's weird for me to assume that they're friends.
If the lady in House of Cards says that she wasn't friends with Kevin Spacey and didn't know anything was going on, even though they filmed like
Ooh, shots fired at
awkward.
House of Cards.
so many
I guess.
seasons together. She's like,
Shots fired at
oh,
House
I
of
don't
Cards.
actually know him. We
Robin
just worked
Wright,
together.
you've been called out.
Yeah, Robin Wright. Come on, you've had dinner with him. You know him.
Robin Wright.
Come on, Robin Wright.
Come on over here.
You know, and I hate what you
More
did.
like Robin Wrong.
You
huh?
did.
Oh,
You did some awful stuff to Forrest
Whitaker.
Oh my gosh.
Last King of Scotland. What else? What else are you doing? You're doing 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
I'm
Kevin
just like
Spacey.
reading out some actual last minute trivia stuff here.
7 degrees of Kevin Spacey. They had an intern.
Oh no!
They shared an intern.
I actually don't know anything else about this movie. Like
man.
trivia wise.
You're the trivia
Yeah,
guy,
I am
John.
actually. No,
John
he
is
performed.
tapped
I know
out.
he performed.
You're even the trivia
Okay.
guy on Director Showdown.
This is IMDb.
Plug.
You're
check
right.
out Director Showdown.
Plug
on
3.
iTunes.
IMDb.
He's almost out of holes.
God damn it! You guys
Do
gotta stop plugging these holes. You know. So
How much money did this movie make, John?
Fucking hell! Hold on. Actually, I do have that number. 171.5 million.
That's a little more than the last one.
Out of a $40 million budget.
Oh, they only increased the budget by like 10.
Do you know what the budget is for the third one?
For the third one, I will tell you in just a
I
second.
hope it's like 100
I think
billion.
it's really smart for them to go in with these low budgets because they know they're going to keep making a profit.
No, they haven't revealed the budget yet. They usually do that post like actual
That's true.
release.
And so it means they can keep making these movies because they're profitable. Just like the Blum model, he makes all those horror movies.
Yeah,
some of them make
well, horror
60
movies
million.
just make a lot of money.
Yeah,
'cause
action
of their-
movies I don't think make. I think these types of movies do really well in like what I did right now is watch it or like VOD or it does
so you
really
just,
well.
You gave them money basically in this
Yeah,
case.
The John Wick 1 I bought it for
They make
$7.99
money
on
in China.
$7.99
you can
on
say
iTunes.
it, man.
What?
Action movies make money in China. You know it. I know it.
Okay.
Shit. Nah,
Transformers. Come on, guys.
Hey, Michael Bay is
Come
an
on,
asshole,
guys,
but
no.
he shoots things of beauty.
Who?
He does.
Michael Bay.
He does.
Yeah.
And it's not like I feel good about it. But
Yeah, exactly.
he
It's
does.
like you eating a hamburger at McDonald's. You don't feel good, but you're like, I'm satisfied.
That's like Steven
He's-
Spielberg.
Michael Bay is technically
Ooh, shots fired, Brent. Where
Michael
are
Bay
you?
is technically one of the top 10 filmmakers of this decade.
Who's number 9?
Number 9 with a bullet.
What the fuck?
David
With the bullet.
O. Russell.
Oh no, those
yep.
are two terrible directors.
Let's see who else is up there. John
Wick.
Leguizamo.
He made a short film.
Wickwazamo?
John Wickwazamo.
Leguizamo.
Wickwazamo. John Wickwazamo.
So we'll go around. We'll give our final thoughts before we close this chapter 2.
no.
But we'll be back for chapter 3. Of,
We will, definitely.
It the movie.
Eric,
What?
no, my bad. Sorry.
John, do you want
I
to
was
do your
about
final
to like,
things?
yeah.
Christ.
John, you're hallucinating. You should probably
John, are you
give your
okay?
take first.
I called you Eric for some reason. Adam,
Yes.
will you be back for John Wick 3 Parabellum?
Absolutely, I will.
That's
be
gonna be
back
awesome.
for
You need to,
John
like, yeah.
Wick.
You need to bookend
Parabellum.
this shit, bro. So
Yeah.
Bookend us.
I was gonna say I wanted to be on the third one. Yeah.
Sandwich us. Good.
sandwiches too.
Uh,
2.
What do you?
How could I sandwich both of you? Because I would be in between you.
You're a smart guy. You will figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not. I might
Wrap
be
around
smart,
us
but
like
not
a tortilla.
flexible.
Is a tortilla a
Yeah.
sandwich?
It can be.
Tortilla.
A taco.
Guys, is tortilla a sandwich? Tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet. Go to tweet hashtag.com. We'll price your hash browns, but then you can email us what you think about this.
Let us know the technicalities of a sandwich in a tortilla.
What the rule
Exactly.
is a burger a sandwich? Yeah, right?
Yeah,
The burger is a sandwich. for
definitely
sure.
is a
Mhm.
But is a
sandwich,
hot
yeah.
dog a sandwich?
Yes. No, I don't know.
It's one piece of bread, though, technically. It's not even completely halved sometimes, right? Hot
I
dog
don't know.
buns?
Sometimes I like to tear up my bun and
Well, you've changed the integrity of the hot dog. I can do that with anything. I can tear it apart.
so a sandwich sausage is what it is.
Kind of.
You know, I was a weird kid and I put like 2 hot dogs underneath like 2 pieces of bread and ate that.
Like, so
Is
you
that
double.
weird?
You mean like 2?
I put 2 hot dogs.
Did you cut 'em in
with
half,
A toast,
or no?
like
And they fit?
You cut them
Yeah.
in half, or
Huh.
did you like
no,
just
I
put
just,
2
I
hot
just
dogs?
put them
Like in
the
a
bread.
like bread,
Yeah.
sandwich bread?
Sandwich bread.
That's-
Yeah.
You might be
okay.
Mexican. Are you sure
Is
you're
that
not
weird?
Mexican?
Oh, John, are you doing your comedy stand-up? You might be a Mexican.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
I'm not doing a comedy stand-up, but are you Mexican,
I
Adam?
feel like you're gonna get a lot of hate tweets about this.
John, give us
Possibly.
4 more of those. Here we
God
go.
damn it.
If you...
You might be a Mexican.
So we just confirmed that Adam Dolphin is from Texas at this point.
y'all.
Yeah.
We already talked about Bucky's.
yo.
Texas, mother. Oh,
Texas sucks, dude. You voted for Ted Cruz.
Ted
whatever.
Cruz. I
love this part of the podcast.
He does this thing where he holds his arm out and he swoops low and says, "God bless Texas." It's really funny. I
And
love
that
it.
in the podcast with that whenever we do.
Sure, yeah, I'll call Ted right now.
Hey,
Call
I
a
can't
little-
wait until he runs for president.
Who?
Ted Cruz.
Okay,
I'm
yes,
gonna vote for
me-
him. 'Cause
Shit.
he's great.
God damn it.
What were your final thoughts? Are we plugging already, or are we gonna do final? Let's do final thoughts. What are your final thoughts on John Wick 2?
Let's start with you because
Let's
you
start with
haven't
me.
Well,
seen
John,
it.
you
Yeah.
were in it, and then we got off.
Oh yeah, we did. Fuck. This is a great movie. Go. If you guys have never seen John Wick 2, actually, I mean, all jokes aside, it's one of the best action movies made in the last 20 years. Really. It will. I've seen it multiple times. I haven't seen the first one. I've only seen the first one once. This is probably maybe I want to say the third, fourth time I've seen this movie. It still gets me. It's it's a marvel when it comes to technical achievements. The acting is all right, I guess. But everything else is it's on point. It's great, except for the score too, I guess. Sorry, I had to throw that too. But the choreography, the action, the cinematography, the actual mood and the morals of the story, basically just expanding off of the lore of the first one. It's an amazing flick. You can't get, if you're a fan of action and you haven't seen this, you're no fan of action. So it's pretty great.
Wow.
So I would say,
Wow.
John, you are strong. You're hyperbolic with your statements.
it's been a while since we've done this podcast.
the
Sorry.
best action movie in 20 years. You're no fan.
I didn't
if
say
you don't
that.
like
I'm
this.
saying I said one of the best action movies in the
Jeez,
last
John.
15 years.
I'm not gonna go that far.
It's pretty great. Are you sure?
What's better
why not?
than John
Yeah,
Wick
exactly.
2,
I was like, why
asshole?
not?
This
Yeah.
film is better than Citizen Kane. Ever heard of it?
No.
Oh, well, no.
Let me explain it to you. Here we go. Scene 1. Rosebud. It's
Wait, who's Rosebud?
I forgot.
Who's
Sorry.
this Orson Welles guy? I saw him.
Orson Welles.
I saw him on the Transformers the movie credits DVD.
Oh, God.
Orson Welles was
That's some
25.
deep cuts, John.
He was 25 when he made Citizen
Transformers?
Kane.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Transformers, yeah.
Michael Bay was 20 when he made Transformers.
I mean, Orson Welles still has a connection to the Transformers. He was Unicron, so whatever.
Yep.
but not the voice.
Yeah.
He was a voice. Yep.
He
in
was-
the one that came out
Yeah.
No,
not in
Unicron,
the recent one.
the-
in Transformers.
With
80s,
the worst
man.
one.
Oh, the
Like
show.
the actual
I thought
show.
you meant them. I was like, he wasn't alive during 2007.
The 80s.
He wasn't
bro.
alive during the 80s either, and he still recorded the voice for
That's
that.
true. He's in Superman Returns. Oh, that's Marlon
You're
Brando.
lying. Yeah, I was like, you're lying on that part.
Adam, what are your final
Yeah.
takes on John Wick,
Season 2.
Chapter 2?
Well, I obviously, since I was the one who recommended this movie,
And
to
thank you for that, too.
the,
Awesome.
The podcast. I mean, I remember bothering John constantly about it. Like, where's the Revenge of the sequel? Where's another episode? We haven't heard from you guys. I want to do John Wick 2.
You were picketing outside of
wanna
our
do-
houses.
Yeah, and it only took
2 years. I
2
guess, in this case.
because I absolutely love this movie. This movie is
Mhm.
something that is like it's candy. It is a fun movie.
But
Like-
it's also like a technical marvel,
It's
literally.
technical marvel.
Yeah.
And don't worry about the morals or the ethics or
The body count.
the body count or the plot, even the plot. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy something that is embedded in all of us. This wanting
Mm-hmm.
to enjoy a visceral, violent film. You know?
Oh, awesome. I was going to say ouch, but awesome.
But no, I mean seriously, I won't lie. Like I like watching, action. I mean, action is like a euphemism for violence, right? So,
oh, yeah, definitely.
I like watching action. I'm not going to go act upon it, but it's just cool to see this fantasy being done to its optimal level,
Right, yeah.
There's nothing that really quite taps into this sort of choreography that they do here. Like I haven't seen The Matrix was amazing for what it was, but like this feels so well thought out of and so like everyone here, like everyone involved in this was so involved on a technical level, you know? They all like wanted to get it just right.
Right.
And it didn't feel too Hollywood, actually, you know? It felt like it was fresh. It had concern for realistic situations, but
Right.
also wanted to put some movie magic to it to have a good time. So, and Keanu Reeves, you know, like his acting is, you know, he's not an Oscar winner, but he fits the John Wick persona very well. And I can't get over the aesthetic like we talked about before. I love, you know, black suits, black ties. Give me that with guns. That's Adam's wheelhouse. Like I love that shit. You know?
So it's just like it's modern noir storytelling, just like you know, a little bit better than when it used to be in like the 30s and 40s. Like really,
yeah,
because they're all just shady characters doing like their own thing. It's just, you know, the technology and actual like situations of those, you know, movies have been heightened to a fact where like they're very, very enjoyable. I feel like, yeah.
So yeah, definitely one of the best action flicks of this past century.
Yeah, definitely.
It is kind of early in the century.
Okay,
but,
I was like, wait.
You know,
2099 you is going to be really upset.
It's fair to say because it's only 2018. It's only been 18 years.
We haven't seen Avatar 2 yet.
Or Mad Max 5 or Avengers 4.
Oh, relax. Y'all.
Or John Wick 3.
Get your yeah, I mean, John Wick 3, he has a horse in John Wick 3.
Wow.
He might have horse foo instead of gung fu.
Someone better not kill that horse because he's going to go insane. You kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I agree with you guys. This movie is definitely more of what people really liked about the first film. In fact, I think they focus on that more in this film.
Definitely.
Most of the plot points are just ways to get you to the next scene where you can see Keanu Reeves kill a dozen or so people in really creative and fun ways. But if you enjoyed the first one, you'll enjoy this one. If you didn't like the first one, this one is just that times 2. So it's
better than the first one. So if you didn't like the first one, you might like this one.
It builds
like
on
John.
more of the
that,
world. Yeah. So it's exciting. I mean, it definitely is unique.
What the fuck, dude?
It's unique.
Do you like this movie?
I think it's a fun movie to watch.
Do you like this movie?
I think there were good people on both sides of this movie.
He's giving you a press conference
Do you like
answer.
This movie?
This movie was one of the best movies of that week.
Do you like John Wick 2?
Chapter 2 is an improvement of the first one.
Do you like anything? I don't think you like anything.
All things have good sides. All things have bad sides.
Do you dislike any movie at all?
I think every film is a good, hard piece of work, and everyone works really hard at those.
How do you feel about The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi was a really great exercise in doing something unique and different. And, it employed a lot of people in California, and that's really good for the country. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, I think in John Wick 2, you get to see all the hard work of all the people in the film. Now everything I say sounds disingenuous. Anyways, yeah, John Wick 2, watch the film. Adam has a copy. He'll email it to you? Or?
I'll email you my Blu-ray, yeah.
He'll email you a Blu-ray. If anything, you can just find him. He lives close to...
Oh, Jesus Christ, really?
He lives close to a building.
Yeah,
so
if anyone in San Antonio knows, what's that sky... That fucking skydiving place, the indoor skydiving.
Oh my God! You're actually giving away
I was
my
joking
property.
about it. Yeah, he lives in that skydiving place.
I live in.
He loves to be perpetually floating.
Yeah,
in
if you guys know Top Golf, go the other side of the Top Golf, and you would literally grab him.
Oh my God! Now I'm gonna have a bunch of
rabid fans.
Yeah. Oh my God! It's Adam who had sex.
What
for the first time in
okay,
humanity.
I was like.
Oh, I get a joke. I was bringing it back.
That was your pickup.
Bringing
There you
back.
go. Yeah. Sorry, it's just been a long time since the beginning of humanity, so I had to remember that joke.
Yeah. Can you even get it up?
I use one of those I use I use Viagra. Which
Well, the
is,
Forbidden Apple was the original Viagra.
Look, I was
feel
doing
like,
a sponsor because
Yeah, this has to go.
man.
Let's get it clean.
Viagra. If you're a male over 50 years old and have erectile dysfunction, use Viagra.
Side effect. I have to read this part really fast.
Yeah.
Side effects include death, bloating of the ball sack, bloody cum,
bloody cum,
normal cum, and more erectile dysfunction.
Look, sure, I get bloody cum. Sure, I might die, but I got hard. That's Viagra.
Bloody cum is Blum? What do you call it? There's a name for it. Is it Santorum? What's Santorum?
That's why they call it Blumhouse Films, dude.
Whoa, I had
bloody
no
cum.
idea. Let's go to plugs. Adam, what do you have to plug? Plug number 4.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if you've heard of it, Director Showdown. You both were on
What?
that podcast. Delphin was on Hateful Eight.
Sure enough.
It was
A
one of our
Western.
best.
Yeah, we talked about West. It's long, too.
Yeah, it's one of our best episodes.
It's probably long.
John was on our Videodrome episode.
Oh,
the
and
most
the
recent one.
Most recent.
You've been on a bunch of episodes. With
Yeah, I have
us,
actually.
you know?
I've been kind of like I've been a
Yeah.
sixth Pete.
Is it
person?
that many?
Yeah.
Well, John's always on a ton of podcasts.
He's a
basically
podcast slut.
He's known in the community.
That's why is that the second time I've heard that like on this podcast? It's kind of fucking weird.
It's just weird, John, how many podcasts you've been on. Like, some of us
know.
like to save that for, like, Adam and
A
I, we
special?
like to, like, we like to, it's our,
We set up some candles, make it very special.
yeah. Oils, there's always oils.
I'm not like that at all.
I like
just walk in.
I
you
like
just,
vegetable oil.
You throw down the
I like
coat.
essential oils, honestly. Those smell really nice.
I love, I love petrol. Just
petrol, just straight up.
I like unrefined,
Actual oil.
yeah, that's what I use for lube. I go down, get a gallon of
Go
gas,
to the gas station.
pour it all over me.
And then you get a match and you just let yourself.
Oh yeah.
Director Showdown though. It's you have Cronenberg versus Carpenter this
Right.
season. It's
And
pretty awesome.
We already
That's a
have
good
an
one.
idea of who's going to be on next season. So.
Really, that's freaking great.
Oh.
I won't announce it here because you guys are plebeians. Sorry.
What?
But we do plan on another season. So
Sweet,
Exciting.
awesome, guys. And yeah, and the Director Showdown podcast is a lot of fun. If you guys listen to it, and you guys can find some fun episodes. It's gonna be pretty great. What episode did you guys just release recently? By the time this releases, it'll probably be very late. but-
So in our time,
yeah, y'all's timeline right
in
now.
this present moment, the most recent one was Scanners by David Cronenberg. That's a good episode. Yeah. So yeah, just
Literally mind blowing. In that case,
Yeah, exactly. It's a good movie, except for a certain actor, but you can find out who that actor is and what that movie is about if you listen to it. But also, if you don't feel like listening to movie podcast, listen to other stuff on Sticker Fridge. You got other movie podcasts, ironically.
you have other movie podcasts.
But you have
a dating
sports
podcast.
You get dating
Yeah,
podcast.
late night swipes. Yeah.
Late night swipes. Yeah.
And I'm sure John has been on all these, right?
No, I have not actually.
Oh,
I,
yeah, right, John.
I don't date, so I haven't been on
Oh.
date night.
Oh, took a serious
night
turn.
swipes, late night swipes.
Hard turn.
John, hey guys, take it from me. John's a good-looking guy.
Oh, this is another ad.
It feels like an ad.
I gotta read this part.
Play it up,
fast.
guys. Play it up, please.
Side effects of dating John may include bloody cum.
Oh my god.
Blum. I don't know why you didn't do Blum that time.
Should have I could have saved time.
Well, this is a hell of an ad.
John, what do you have to plug, buddy?
Other than yourself.
Um,
Because you have Blum coming out of everywhere.
yeah, it's sad, really. Actually, I don't really have much to plug other than listen to all the podcasts on the Delphin Pod Network. Obviously, if you haven't, obviously already. I mean, if you want to re-listen to them, I mean, I'm not going to stop you. But that's kind of weird.
Whoa. Okay.
It's not weird to re-listen to
not
podcasts.
weird.
I re-listen to. I fall asleep to this.
Yeah, I've listened to so many Delphin Pod.
Yeah, every day.
Podcasts,
Sometimes
every day.
5 times the same episode.
Yeah.
I like to hear the nuances of the conversation, the ups and the downs,
Well, okay.
the parts that I should edit out.
Well, all right. No, I'm just playing. But Yeah, listen to Duff and Pod podcast is pretty great. All of the Sticker Fridge Network podcasts are the same on our sister network, Sticker Fridge, which was obviously I'm gonna plug the Director Showdown podcast since I'm a great guest on one of their episodes.
That's like 6.
Yeah, it's some of them.
Did you just call yourself a great guest on
I
someone
did,
else's
actually.
podcast?
Sorry,
Oh
yeah.
no, I said like how many plugs that was.
Oh.
Well,
No, John
he said he was a great guest.
I'm a great guest.
He is a good guest.
You said good, and he said great, though.
Well, he is a great guest.
Right, yeah. Well, if you guys
John,
want
you're a
in this
great
case,
guest.
then you can listen to the Video Drone podcast whenever it comes out.
Dolphin, why don't you come on the fucking podcast?
I've been on the podcast.
Only one. He's been on it for like...
Let's break for both, though. I do want to promote whenever Exposure
we need to
is
do it.
released
what
to the
is
public.
Exposure?
Exposure is a short film that Delphin Pod and Sticker Fridge did partner for.
It's a podcast.
Oh, did I say it's a podcast? My bad.
It's a new podcast. It's a photography podcast, but we talk about pictures, but we realize now it's an audio medium.
Yeah, fucking hell. It's a short film that we guys
Yeah.
that we worked on. You guys should check it out whenever it's public.
It's slated for a 2019 release.
Yeah, definitely. In this case,
Limited
release. So
we joke, but that's an actual thing.
You got to get on CISO. It's a program. It's an app that's gone already.
And then Crunchyroll for our anime version of it.
We get 1 cent per 1,000 plays on this app that no one has.
Yeah, and that's about it. Also, search for Apex. You will have a fun time watching Apex online.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that. I want to see that.
You and how many other people, bro?
Well, I want to see it because I support my friends.
Me too, sort of.
Hashtag
me too.
God damn it.
I didn't say that. Delphin, what do you
What's
have to
wrong
plug?
with saying all this Dolphin Pod shows? I mean, I'm sure we'll be back soon. Sorry,
Next
guys.
week,
We've just
probably.
taken such a long vacation.
Yeah, I do want to apologize for that too. Our schedule's been kind of hectic lately.
No,
so
what the fuck? Because every time I see John, I'm like, where the hell is Revenge of the Sequel?
Where the hell is everyone?
Yeah,
John,
that's true.
It's because John didn't take we got a really big offer to continue Countdown to Infinity, and John and Andrew said no.
We did.
And now we
Sorry.
no longer have that money, and it's taken a very heavy
Kevin
toll on our...
Feige went up to you and said,
I was going to buy a boat.
what the fuck, guys? Where the hell is Countdown to Infinity?
that's true because we wanted to go the Netflix route with the shows now that the movies are over, and then Feige just pulled his funding.
Feige was like, I was hoping on making films that you wanted
Yeah,
to talk
exactly.
about.
He was like, "Where's your
Why don't you do
Machine
a
Man
Star
pitch?"
Wars one?
That's true.
Where's the Kathleen Kennedy came up to you and said, "Hey, where's the Star Wars? Huh? Where is it? Where's Star Wars podcast?"
Where's
And we were like, "Where are the Star Wars movies? We saw Solo. It wasn't there."
Ooh,
Yeah.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, Kathleen. First name basis. I call her Cat. Cat Ken. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you around.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Ooh, isn't that something they say in John Wick 2 all the time? See you around or something?
No, I don't know about that.
Okay.
But
Never mind.
Adam, thanks a lot for being
Thank
on
you
here, man.
so much.
You're awesome,
It
man.
is so much fun talking to you guys. I hope I can come back real soon.
Please come back really soon.
Honestly, this is a good companion piece because we pressed play on the movie when we started recording, and it's almost over already. So you can literally
watch the whole movie. Almost
Watch
as a
the whole
commentary.
movie.
We're actually on the Blu-ray special features.
Yeah.
Actually, we're at the excommunicado phase.
Yeah, if
here.
you've timed this
Here,
perfectly,
English,
everyone's about to stop and stare at them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Man, this is a great way to sign off, huh?
It's very awkward.
Exactly.
Super awkward now.
Super duper awkward.
And,
how do we do?
Yeah, we're
how do we
just
do the
keep
ending here?
on
Yeah.
Talking.
Small
Don't
talk.
you guys have like a catchphrase that you do at the end?
Yeah, we sure do. John, you remember it?
Yeah, it's called later.
Later, guys.
Ew.
That's so weird. All right, later, guys.
Shit.